Welcome to our show. You're listening to Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections, a place to learn about and celebrate creative arts therapy. Each week, we'll explore new ways that music, art, and dance can reach, connect with, and help individuals of all stages of health and wellness. Hi, I'm Bree Bynan, a board-certified music therapist and the managing partner for the Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute. Tune in as I interview professionals from healthcare and educational backgrounds on the impact of the creative arts. If you prefer to watch our live video stream, simply visit www.pbmti.com. Hello, thank you so much for joining us tonight. You're listening to and watching Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. I'm your host, Bree Bynan, board-certified music therapist, neurologic music therapist, and managing partner for our local music therapy practice, Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute. If you're joining us for the first time, I just want to give you an idea of what you can expect from the next hour. We like to shine a light on anyone who's working in our community to bring joy, comfort, to help connect others through music, dance, rhythm, art, different ways, maybe a little bit outside of the box to help connect with others, to bring people together. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. Before we get too much further, I want to apologize from the beginning that I'm not in my normal full voice today. I'm a little under the weather, but thankfully for all of you listening at home, I have some excellent guests that are just going to be filling up your ears with beautiful sounds and also some really important and special information. We're going to be talking to a guest that we had on a few months ago. If you were listening in December, you might have heard him, Mike Rakucci. He is the founder of Terrorizing Films, and he also is a co-founder for the Global Music Therapy Project, which is what we were talking about back in December. And he and his co-founder, Angie Kopshai, were on talking about their travels around the world, to highlight not only music therapy programs, but the role that music plays in various cultures, which ties in really well with our multicultural theme of last week of how to connect with those outside of our own familiar culture using music. So Mike is back joining us today to talk about something else that he is very passionate about, something that's happening a little more locally here in the U.S., and that kind of unfortunately has come up and become a topic of discussion for a lot of music therapists here in the U.S. And that is that the music therapy program at the University of North Dakota is at risk of being shut down, which puts strain on students, professors, program directors, the community, those that rely on those services, and the music therapy community. Because as we're going to talk about today, we can only grow as a field if we are supported by universities that offer these programs. So we're going to get in deep, not only talking to Mike about his efforts and how he's using his position in the community as a filmmaker, as a connector, to bring awareness to this, but we're also going to be hearing from Miranda Eckert, who is a student currently at the University of North Dakota Music Therapy Program, and the director of the program, Dr. Megan Masco, is also calling in. They're both going to be able to shed light on their personal experiences going through this, and what the impact really is, again, on themselves, for the school, for the community, and for the music therapy community as a whole. The impact of that. Not only are we going to hear about why that's so important, but also how you listening and watching at home can get involved in this. You don't have to be directly related, receiving services, or a music therapist yourself to care, to lend your voice. Many people have lent their voice to this cause here in the U.S. and outside of the U.S. Mike's going to talk to us about, I believe, 5 continents have reached out to him in support for this. We've even received support from celebrities in our area. Ben Folds, a recording artist who many are familiar with, also lent his support to the UND music therapy program. So again, learning the importance of this, what the impact is when a program is threatened in this way, and how you can help, how we can come together as a community to help out this school, to help this program, to help these students and the potential clients that they serve already and that they could serve in the future, what the implications of all that are. So before we start talking to all of our guests tonight, I just want to rewind a little bit since this show is primarily focused on talking with professionals after they've already completed their education requirements, their internships, their practicums, and are working in the field. So if you have been listening from week to week, you've had the opportunity to hear about the work that's being done, why that work is so important, those different disciplines that we get to work with, but not so much the education that goes behind it. And a lot of times that's part of the biggest misconceptions because most people aren't aware of the educational requirements that go behind acquiring that music therapy degree and then going on to do your your internship and board certification. So I just wanted to read something quickly. This is from our national association, the AMTA, American Music Therapy Association, part of their informational section on the website of the education of the music therapist, just to give you an idea of the intensity of the program and what goes away when a program closes, how involved this is. This is the education of a music therapist is unique among college degree programs because it is not only allows a thorough study of music, but encourages examination of oneself as well as others. Students may begin their study on the undergraduate or graduate level. The entry-level curriculum includes clinical coursework and extended internship requirements in an approved mental health, special education, or healthcare facility. Upon successfully completing academic and clinical training and subsequently passing the national examination administered by the Independent Certification Board for Music Therapists, the graduate acquires the credential Music Therapist Board Certified, or MTBC. The approved curriculum is designed to impart entry-level competencies in three main areas: musical foundations, clinical foundations, and music therapy foundations, and principles as specified in the AMTA professional competencies. Entry-level study includes practical application of music therapy procedures and techniques learned in the course room through required fieldwork in facilities serving individuals with disabilities in the community and or on-campus clinics. Students learn to assess the needs of the clients, develop and implement treatment plans, and evaluate and document clinical changes. Individuals who have a bachelor's degree may elect to complete the degree equivalency program in music therapy offered by most AMTA-approved universities. So in other words, if you've already completed a related bachelor's, some schools require that it's music-related, others do not, and you're interested in pursuing it, music therapy, there are undergraduate and graduate levels versions of equivalency programs. Under this program, the student completes only the coursework necessary for the equivalent music therapy training without necessarily earning a second bachelor's degree. Some schools may require that the student's initial degree be in music. Graduate programs in music therapy examine with greater breadth and depth issues relevant to the clinical, professional, and academic preparation of music therapists, usually in combination with established methods of research inquiry. Selected universities often offer doctoral study in music therapy, some of which include coursework in music therapy in combination with doctoral study in related areas. That's a lot of information. Basically, to break it down, there are, and I could be wrong on this number, but I believe 73 universities throughout the United States that offer music therapy, AMTA-approved music therapy programs. And again, that's on the undergraduate, graduate, doctorate, and postdoc level. Not only are you receiving the education necessary to receive that degree, as is for anyone who has gone to school for what they later went on to do in their profession, but in here we learn about all of those clinical applications that come out of those programs, those practicums. Some schools have on-site clinics where they're doing work. Many are connecting with programs in the community. I know the program that I went to, Nazareth College in Rochester, New York, at the time, we would partner with different organizations in the community and provide complimentary free music therapy services under supervision as a student to nursing homes, child care centers, We would go out and do our practicums in the schools, different adult care centers, local hospice care. This is something the community relies on. They come to rely on because they have that relationship with the university, with the professors, with the professionals, and with the students. This is another aspect of a group of people who will be affected by that program going away. We are small. If you've been listening, you've heard me say it before. One of the quotes I've taken away from a previous conference I've gone to is, music therapy is the best kept secret in healthcare, and you never want to be the best kept secret in anything. It's growing. You know I'm a big proponent of saying that. It's a very exciting time to be a music therapist, but we need strong programs like this in universities to grow, clearly, to maintain the uniqueness of a program by keeping, fairly small class sizes, relatively small, to be able to finesse and work on all of these things that we're working on: music skills, clinical skills, music therapy techniques. It makes a difference. It may seem like one small school very far away from South Florida, but it really makes a difference. And I'm just honored to have Mike on today, Mike Ricucci of Terrorizing Records and the Global Music Therapy Project, to be sharing about his efforts and what he's doing to save this program. Doesn't have to do it. He's not a music therapist. He feels called to it. It is his passion, and I'm going to let him explain his story and how he got to this place for you all. And again, bringing in Miranda Eckert, who is a student currently in the program and has really gone above and beyond to fight for her program, starting an online petition. She's going to talk to us about how many signatures she's already received on that petition, some of the local press they've already picked up about this program. Again, even getting the attention of national recording artists like Ben Folds, who feels passionate, who feels strongly about this program. And also the director of the program, Dr. Megan Masco, is going to be calling in at the end of the show to share her view on what's going on, her history with the program, how successful it's been, what it's meant to the community, what the future of it can be. So I want you to take these next 45 minutes not as only an opportunity to listen and to learn, but also I hope you feel moved by their stories and maybe feel moved to reach out in some way to help be part of something that could really impact thousands of people. I know that sounds like a big number. We're going to talk about how this really impacts thousands of people by saving this program. Even if it's as simple as tweeting along with us, using the hashtag SaveUNDMT. The more people using that hashtag, the more people paying attention. We're going to get more information about that petition that's going around. I believe it's open until April 26th. We're going to confirm that date later on. But there's ways to get involved, even from the comfort of your own home. Even if you're not directly impacted by this, recognizing that it does impact a community and how we can all come together and support this program. It can be very meaningful. So thank you for joining us today. We're going to cut to a quick commercial break. When we come back, I'm going to be talking to Mike Ricucci of Terrorizing Records and the Global Music Therapy Project. Thank you.
Mom's fall was a wake-up call. We knew she needed help, but we also knew she'd never leave her home.
With jobs and kids, we can't always be there. We weren't sure who to trust to help around the house and make sure she takes her medications.
We did our research and found our answer. Bright Star Care. Their home care teams are led by registered nurses, with help available 24/7.
Thanks to Bright Star Care, Mom can stay where she wants to be, at home.
For a standard of care that raises the bar, call 844 for Bright Star.
The Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute is a professional music therapy practice serving medical, community, and educational settings throughout Southeast Florida. With our experienced team of 11 board-certified music therapists, we use music and research-based therapeutic interventions to help individuals of all ages and abilities reach their goals and increase their quality of life. For more information on our services and programs, please visit our website at pbmti.com. Engage with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or call us at 561-747-8255. 888-9944. You are listening to Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. If you'd like to join the conversation, the toll-free number is 888-565-1470. Now back to the show. Hello, thank you so much for joining us. You're listening to and watching Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. I'm your host, Bree Bynan, and today we're talking about how you at home, listening and watching today, can get involved and be a part of something really important and really special. We're going to start off the conversation by talking to Mike Ricucci. He is the founder and the director of Terrorizing Films, co-founder of the Global Music Therapy Project, and a huge music therapy advocate. Are you there, Mike?
I'm right here, Bree.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure. And I know you've been on a couple months ago to share specifically with Angie about the Global Music Therapy Project, some of the places that you all have been, some of the amazing things you've seen, been a part of, and shared with all of us back home, which has been great. For those who didn't to listen to that, and I know it's a big story, but could you just kind of catch us up? The Reader's Digest version got involved with being a music therapy advocate.
Wow, the Reader's Digest version. That'll be hard for me, but I'm gonna do my best. I will. I'd been a part of music and playing in a bunch of different bands in college. And when I really thought about getting back into music, I wanted to do something and be a part of something that was about the medical application, the science-based, evidence-based practice of music therapy. The value of it beyond music as entertainment, which is vital to all of us, but at the same time, music actually healing, music actually working with different populations, from the autism community to veterans and the addiction community and cognitive deficiencies and all these different things that music therapy works with. There's a tangible value to that. And so as I started the company and learned that, there were a lot of people that didn't know about music therapy, I wanted to create a documentary that would be able to not tell people to follow music therapy, but to be able to just show what music therapy was from the client's perspective, from the music therapist's perspective, and the families that, are sort of the outside observers and sometimes inside observers in these music therapy situations. So we really wanted to elevate the perception of music and try to show people that kind of everything that they believe that music can do and is when they say the cliche term music heals, that there's an actual definition to that, and there's an actual value, and people are actually using it, and we can track it, and with all the different science and different technologies that are available to us, and we're just privileged and humbled to be able to share it from the film perspective, and share that message with so many different people.
And you guys are doing a great job. And one of the things I love the most is how many people, by following you on social media, how many people outside of our field are following you and your projects and are excited about it as well, that maybe never heard of this before.
Well, I think that was our whole intention really from the beginning, is that music therapists, clients, they know what music therapy is, but there's just a lot of people that don't know what music therapy is, and those people are politicians, business owners, community leaders that can actually help the situation. And I think that knowledge is the greatest exchange that we can have between one human and another, and if that knowledge leads to the ability to create more opportunities and more access to music therapy programs, then I think that it is on us outside of the music therapy community that do know what music therapy is and have seen what music therapy can do, to reach out to those people that just may not know. And I think a lot of the time we get into the habit of saying, these people aren't supporting us and they're not doing these things, but sometimes it just takes a little nudge and just say, hey, take a look at this and see what it actually is and meet the people that are actually affected by this. And that kind of relationship and that kind of facilitation is something that we don't pride ourselves on. We just made it a commitment from the beginning to make sure that our goal was to build a better foundation for music therapy outside of the community of music therapy so that more support could be granted from people that aren't music therapists. And I think that's what every organization and idea and cause needs, are people that don't know about it, that learn, and they just grow very organic foundation that can really support something that's important to so many communities just here in the United States and around the world.
And you've been focusing your efforts the last year or so on such a global scope, traveling all over the world, and I know you're in the midst of more planning and more traveling coming up. And I bet you didn't realize or think that you would be so focused on something so close to home this time, especially a program that I know you've spent some time with and had a personal connection with.
You're right, Bree, and I think sometimes when we say the Global Music Therapy Project, people forget how much time we've spent here in the United States. And I want to always remind people that Angie Kopshai, the Director of Music Therapy Services at Portland, and myself, the co-founders of the Global Music Therapy Project, we always want to remind people that Terror Rising did a 47-state U.S. tour before we ever left this country, because it's important to us that we know our own country and that we have the abilities and the ideas to help the music therapy programs in our country and abroad. So when we went to North Dakota in 2014, and I was with Chris, and Bree, you met Chris, and I was actually just talking to him the other day, we got to experience just a different approach to music therapy because of the distance that some of these music therapists travel. I mean, some of these music therapists have to go 6 to 7 hours outside of Grand Forks, North Dakota, where the University of North Dakota is located. They have to get hotels. They have to stay. They have clients in Bismarck and Minot, and maybe some of these towns don't make a lot of sense to people, but it's a very rural state. But geographically, it's huge, and they may not have a whole lot of people, but they've got a whole lot of distance. And so what we saw was just another ability for music therapy to reach not only the populations that we've come accustomed to talking about with autism and veterans and those populations, but they're working with the deaf populations, the visually impaired populations, American Indians on the reservations who have limited medical access on those reservations, and what music therapy is providing for them is exponential to what was available before. So those stories just connect with us, and like so many others that we've been able to experience, but to know that the first ever music therapy program in North Dakota, and one that is bringing in students, almost 50 students in the program alone, that there needs to be a bigger conversation about why that program is being cut, because music programs sometimes are cut because they're not bringing in money or the state is funding them and they're not able to fund themselves, but this program is funding itself. And that needs to be a really serious discussion, because that kind of breaks open the discussion of like, okay, well, we're cutting music programs that aren't making money. That, from a capitalist standpoint, makes sense, but it doesn't make sense for programs that are making money and our actual contribution, not only to the University of North Dakota, but also the community and the people that they help. And I know Miranda and Megan are going to be able to talk a lot more about that, but I really hope that people are not only focusing on the music therapy program at University of North Dakota, but the amount of time and effort that they're actually committing to clients in the Grand Forks and greater North Dakota community.
Absolutely. I think that's the bigger picture that has to be looked at here. It's so important.
And that's...
Go ahead.
No, and I think that's why it's really important, and it's fantastic on your part, Bree, to bring these representatives of the University of North Dakota music therapy community in, because people really need to hear from them. And they're on the ground floor every single day. They've been dealing with this since probably before it even was announced. And, I think that's the great part about this moment tonight, is that people are going to be able to hear from the actual people that are affected by this, and we're really hoping that everybody that's listening tonight is going to really tune into what they're saying and be able to jump on board and be a part of the support that really can help this program survive and move forward and bring some attention to something that may seem very local in the Grand Forks community, but we're going to try to put all of our efforts into getting everybody from around the world to focus in on this community in North Dakota and lend as much support as humanly possible.
So what are a few ways that those listening or watching today can get engaged? What are some of the projects you're working on?
Okay, for us, and I know that Miranda and Megan are going to have opportunities as well that are direct to their cause, but through us, Terror Rising Films and the Global Music Therapy Project, we would love for people to check us out online at theglobalmusictherapyproject.com to get a part of our video campaign. We've already accepted videos from around the world, 5 continents of 15 countries, And those videos are lending support to the music therapy program at the University of North Dakota. And it can come in any language. We're looking for clips between 5 and 20 seconds long, and we would love for people to be a part of that. And I know that Miranda is going to talk about this. So the petition that is going out for music therapy programs, we're going to be excited to hear from her and how people can get involved with that, because that's going to be something that people can access right away from their phones or their computers and make a really big impact through change.org.
Amazing. I just got chills when you're talking about the support from around the world and in any different language. The impact of that's incredible.
Music has no specific spoken language to it. I mean, before, and to get into the ethnomusicological discussion that our documentary is also approaching and why we're traveling the world right now, is that, music is being studied right now is predating some of the years and dates that we gave to when music and art started making an impact on humans. And they're more looking at it from an ethnomusicological sense to see how it developed the brain and allowed us to think more critically and more complex. And so that to know that music contributes to spoken language means that the languages that we're speaking, they have more of a reflection of man and what we've created than what led us to understand how to use language. And so music supersedes these different terms we have for the word the, or the word love. In fact, I actually got into an amazing discussion with somebody yesterday, Marty Bartels, about what the word love in Japanese means and sort of the different colloquial terms and cultural differences between these words. But in essence, music supersedes all of that. And so that's what we're really trying to harness right now, is music helping music. People understanding that music is to them what it is, and that may have a different language, but the feeling and the importance and the commitment to it is really similar throughout all of these different cultures.
Amazing. And I think one of the things that you've been trying to promote through your film and through all the work you do is you don't have to be in this field, be a music therapist to support these efforts, right? This is open to anyone to get engaged, to be a part of something bigger.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's why we're trying to really put some energy into this, because it's not just about the music therapists or the students or the professors, the clients or the families. It's about all of us. And knowing that at any point, we all might be in a position where we need music therapy. Who knows who might have Alzheimer's? Who knows who might get PTSD? Who knows who might become addicted to anything? Who knows who might raise a child on the autism spectrum? We don't know any of that. So it's important that we have these organizations and these mechanisms in place that offer help to people. And so whether we are a part of music therapy now or not, we might be. And you know what? At that point, we're going to really hope and we're going to really wish that music therapy was a part of our treatment plan.
Well said. Very well said. And one more question for you, Mike, and then we're going to cut to a commercial and bring in some more guests. But I don't know how much interaction you've had with hearing back from the university, and maybe this is a better question for Miranda and Dr. Maskow later, but, talk about the impact on the community, and has there been any discussion on what solution there might be for these families and clients that would be left without their music therapy that they look forward to on a regular basis if this program were to be cut?
Well, I definitely know that Miranda and Megan are going to be able to speak about that in specifics. But what I can say is, and I want to give a really big shout out to the Grand Forks Herald, which is the main newspaper and media outlet in Grand Forks, North Dakota. They have been covering that subject. They've been taking letters from parents that have written about their loved ones that have had music therapy as a treatment option. Other people have written in about people they know and people they've experienced that with. So there is a tremendous outpouring of support from the community itself, and I know that Megan and Miranda are going to really be able to speak in specifics. But being an outsider like I am here in Washington, D.C., we've already connected with the Grand Forks Herald and different community organizations, the Music Therapy Association of North Dakota, along with Stand Up for Music Therapy, which is based in Grand Forks and something that developed around this concept. So the community is rallying around this and talking about, the potential lack of music therapy for the clients that are receiving it. Because again, and as I stated earlier, it's not only an academic program at the university, but they're actually providing treatment for clients in that community. So the students and the professors are adversely affected. And I think people understand that when we talk about the music program being cut. But there's a huge element that needs to be looked at and discussed about the people that are going to lose music therapy because of this. And this is the first ever music therapy program in North Dakota. I mean, they were progressive in the sense of being the first state to ever have music therapy license. And so for the university to be so progressive and make these bold moves that has really been a trendsetter for a lot of states and a lot of different music therapy programs, it's not congruent to see that program be the one that's cut. And that's what we're really trying to bring a focus to. And Megan and Miranda, again, are going to be able to bring that spotlight even brighter on that issue because they are working with those clients on a more daily basis than we are.
Wow. And those who listen to the show know that I'm very passionate about licensing efforts and the importance of that and what that means. I don't know if I remember to realize that North Dakota was the first state, did you say?
Mm-hmm.
To have licensing. Wow. Incredible. So the passion is there. It's been there. They've clearly given so much to the rest of the field by being a trailblazer in that way. We owe it to give this support back. So thank you for being such a part of it. Please hang on, Mike. We're going to cut to a quick commercial and then bring in Miranda after the break and talk to her about her experience. Thank you so much.
Mom's fall was a wake-up call. We knew she needed help, but we also knew she'd never leave her home.
With jobs and kids, we can't always be there. We weren't sure who to trust to help around the house and make sure she takes her medications.
We did our research and found our answer, Bright Star Care. Their home care teams are led by registered nurses, with help available 24/7.
Thanks to Bright Star Care, Mom can stay where she wants to be, at home.
For a standard of care that raises the bar, call 844 for Bright Star.
The Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute is a professional music therapy practice serving medical, community, and educational settings throughout Southeast Florida. With our experienced team of 11 board-certified music therapists, we use music and research-based therapeutic interventions to help individuals of all ages and abilities reach their goals and increase their quality of life. For more information on our services and programs, please visit our website at pbmti.com. Engage with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or call us at 561-747-9944. You are listening to Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. If you'd like to join the conversation, the toll-free number is 888-565-1470. Now back to the show. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. You're listening to and watching Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. I'm your host, Bree Bynan, and tonight we're talking about something very important that's going on, and not only sharing it with you all, but also sharing ways that you can get engaged, be a part of something bigger than ourselves. Even if you're not directly connected to the music therapy community, one of our program in the University of North Dakota, very far away from South Florida, but that doesn't matter because we're all connected through the ways that we appreciate, experience, use music in our lives in a national and an international level. We're talking to Mike Rakucci, the founder and director of Terrorizing Films and the co-founder of the Global Music Therapy Project, about his advocacy, the work that he's doing here at home in the States, also abroad. And now we're really going to get into what it's like being there in North Dakota with all of this going on. Miranda, are you here with us?
I am. Hello.
Hi, Miranda. Thank you so much for calling in, taking the time tonight. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much for showing an interest in helping us advocate and supporting us through all of this. It means so much. We are blown
Absolutely.
away by the responses.
Thank you. Well, just want to start with actually just kind of curious if you could just give us a little info on your background, what year you are in school, how you came into the program, what kinds of things you're interested in as a student of music therapy.
Okay, well, this is my senior year in music therapy. I kind of took a weird trek in college to get here, but I am so thankful that this is where I am, and I'm very excited to be done with my coursework this semester, and then I will be applying, or I have been applying to internships and just waiting to get some responses and put some more applications out there. Otherwise, I am the PR rep for the AMTAS organization on campus. That's the American Music Therapy Association of Students on campus. And we are kind of the leaders and all of the members and all the students who aren't in AMTAS. We've been working as an incredible team just to get the word out there. We've been doing events and getting the petitions out, and everyone's just been doing so much in part of all of this. It's incredible.
Well, first of all, congratulations on being so close to graduation and as you're applying to internships. And have you been at UND for your entire 4 years?
I have been for the last 4 years. I started in Minot and at Fargo my first year of college. And then I came to UND in 2011, and I've been here ever since, and it's been a wonderful place to call home. And I'm very proud of being a UND student.
I can see that for sure. It's a very exciting field to be coming into. We know that it's growing, that there's a lot of exciting things going on right now, which, as Mike was saying, it makes it even a little more difficult, to accept this change, knowing the growth that's going on, knowing the impact that you're having. So I wondered if you could share a little bit more with us specifically about the area that you're in and the area that you all serve through these music therapy programs. If you could paint a picture for us, who aren't there in North Dakota, of what the impact you all have is.
Yeah. Well, first off, our department. Can you repeat the very first part of that question? I'm sorry.
Sure. No, I wondered if you could just kind of paint a picture for us of how important this program at the university is to the community. In other words, we've been talking about the clients that you all serve, and it sounds like from what Mike was saying, there's a lot of isolation just because it is a very rural area, a lot of traveling involved, maybe services are limited. Your program sounds like it is a very vital part of that.
Yes. North Dakota in general is lacking in healthcare providers. And as far as music therapist school, we now have 16 licensed music therapists in North Dakota, and 14 of them were graduates of UND. So UND has contributed hugely to our music therapy population, and we serve a huge variety of clients in North Dakota. Just the university itself, we go from various places, from the hospital to developmental centers to transition centers. We work on campus at the Toddler Language Center and at the Language and Learning Center. So we work with children that come onto campus and come for language help, and we go in for half an hour twice a week. Otherwise, we are huge in the Valley Memorial homes. I think I have had 3 semesters practicing there. And our professor, Natasha Thomas, spent a lot of years working with the School for the Blind and the School for the Deaf. And she has done incredible work just advocating across the state of North Dakota. And everybody's been traveling a lot to get services to the western part of the state. We don't have very much going on in music therapy in the western part of the state, and it's about a 5-hour drive all the way across the state. So there's a lot of area to cover and not very many professionals to cover all of that area. And in Grand Forks alone, our program provides $136,000 of free services to some of the people who really wouldn't be able to receive these services otherwise. So
wow.
I think for a lot of us, that's the most disheartening part, is just knowing that people in our community are not going to get these services anymore if we don't continue this program.
That's pretty powerful. $136,000 worth of free services to the community that students provide. That's a big impact. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think they're going to feel it a lot when we're not there, and it's scary to think about.
Absolutely. How many music therapy students do you have in the program?
There are 48 currently enrolled in the program, and that's about a third of our music department at UND.
Okay. Wow. So I want to give you a chance to talk about the ways that you specifically have gotten really involved with this. You mentioned that you you handle the PR for the AMTS, and you put out a petition, right? You made an online petition?
Yes, and
tell
this
us.
is after we originally, Jen and Tullis and Malia Hefner have been doing so much as well, and they kind of kick-started everything with getting together with the other organizations in the music department, and we put together an event in front of the president's house, and later that week the AMTAS leaders put together another event that was just kind of in a general area on campus where we played music and put out our UND students petition. And that's kind of where the petition started, and we have about over 1,300 and counting signatures on that petition, and that's just UND students and some faculty alone.
Oh, wow.
And then this last Friday, I started a Facebook page just to kind of get people who wanted to advocate for music therapy that maybe weren't a part of UND or part of our music department. And so I created a Facebook page for that just to help people get an idea of what they can do. And I started a petition and shared it on there. And right now we are at 1,816 supporters so far.
Wow. And that's separate than the 1,300 you have from school.
Right. Yep.
Wow. That's great.
Worldwide. Yeah.
That had to feel pretty good to see that support.
Yeah. The response we've been getting is we couldn't have dreamed of this amount of support. And I cannot even read the comments on the petition without tearing up. It's insane how much music therapy has impacted people all across the United States and across the world.
Do you find that what types of people are you hearing from? Are they professionals? Are they community members? Are they clients? Who's reaching out to you?
Yes.
Yes.
All of the above.
Great.
Family members of clients, music therapists, students from other programs who are excited to see UND grow because we are their future co-workers, and music students just across the United States. There have been people from Canada. All over from the community there have been people talking. There's a veteran board-certified music therapist. I cannot believe the amount of people responding to this.
So how can people who are listening, watching tonight, learning about this for the first time possibly, be a part of this? Sign your petition, be a part of this movement. How can you direct them to the right place?
Well, our Facebook page is up and running, and that has updates. We posted a video of our little Orff arrangement.
I saw that. Very fun.
We had so much fun. We have fun doing things like that, and we figured why not give some of that. Was for Michael's project as well, which is incredible. And then that was also just a fun thing to put on there. And then they can also get to that by going to facebook.com/standup4MT. And on that Facebook page, you'll find links to the petition. You'll find links to some of the things that Michael is doing and many other things. And then to get to the petition, if you don't have Facebook, I know a lot of people don't have Facebook, I just typed in the search UND Music Therapy, and it popped right up.
Okay. The petition itself popped right up.
Yep, on change.org, I'm sorry.
On change.org. Okay, great. So Facebook, facebook.com/standup4MT, is that right?
Yep.
And then change.org is where your petition is for the UND Music Therapy Program.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, fabulous. One more question before we go to a quick commercial break, or more of a comment, really, that you sent me the stats on UND's music therapy program. 100% graduate or board certification rate and 100% employment rate.
Yes. We do a good job. We're not a program that's not succeeding.
No, that's amazing. That's incredible.
Yeah, well, and that's our overall pass rate for the exams. I think we're at a 97 point something percent rate otherwise with retake.
That's
So
incredible. Like you said, this is clearly not a program that's failing or students are unhappy or professors are unhappy. I mean, it's very clear that it's a thriving program. People are excited about it. People are excited to learn, be a part of it. The community's excited to be receiving those services, to be connected with you all. And now everyone else is learning about it and going to be excited about connecting with you as well. So
yes, our family is growing.
Absolutely. Your family is growing. You have supporters all the way in South Florida, very far away, which is, and way beyond us in 5 continents, which is just amazing. So I'm glad you feel that love. I know it's got to be frustrating. I can, you have a positive outlook, which I love. So thank you for taking the time to call in tonight to talk about this, for putting in all the energy for your fellow students, for your community. I hope you feel how appreciated that is.
Oh, you have no idea. Seriously, thank you so much for having us, and thank you to everyone who is going to move forward in supporting us. This is incredible.
Thank you so much, Miranda. We're going to cut to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to be talking to Dr. Megan Maskow at the UND Music Therapy Program.
Mom's fall was a wake-up call. We knew she needed help, but we also knew she'd never leave her home.
With jobs and kids, we can't always be there. We weren't sure who to trust to help around the house and make sure she takes her medications.
We did our research and found our answer, Bright Star Care. Their home care teams are led by registered nurses, with help available 24/7.
Thanks to Bright Star Care, Mom can stay where she wants to be, at home.
For a standard of care that raises the bar, call 844 for Bright Star.
The Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute is a professional music therapy practice serving medical, community, and educational settings throughout Southeast Florida. With our experienced team of 11 board-certified music therapists, we use music and research-based therapeutic interventions to help individuals of all ages and abilities reach their goals and increase their quality of life. For more information on our services and programs, please visit our website at pbmti.com. Engage with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or call us at 561-747-9944. You are listening to Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. If you'd like to join the conversation, the toll-free number is 888-565-1470. Now back to the show. Hello, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. You're listening to and watching Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. I'm your host, Bree Bynan. We are talking today with a few different key players who are really passionate about saving this music therapy program at the University of North Dakota. We're talking to Mike Ricucci of Terrorizing Films and the Global Music Therapy Project. You just heard from Miranda, a current student at the program. And now we're going to be talking to Dr. Megan Maskow, the Director of Music Therapy at the university. Dr. Maskow, are you here?
I am here.
Thank you so much for calling in and joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, my pleasure. And Mike, are you still here as well? No? Okay. Well, I just want to shout out, if he is listening, just to thank him for connecting.
I'm right here.
Oh, you are here. Wonderful. I just
Hey,
want to thank you, Mike, for making this connection, and again for all your advocacy and work. And just hang on, because I'm gonna cut back to you in a few minutes. Is that all right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Wonderful.
Yes.
Dr. Maskow, could you mind just giving us a tiny little bio of how long you've been with the university and just kind of your role in that program?
Sure. I joined the University of North Dakota in 2011 when Therese Costas, who founded the program in 2000, decided to retire. So I moved into a role as assistant professor of music therapy at the University of North Dakota. And at that point in time, Andrew Knight took over as director of the music therapy program. And then when Andrew joined the faculty at Colorado State in 2014, I took over the role as program director at UND.
Okay.
So I've been the program director for 2 years.
Wonderful. Congratulations. And thanks again for calling in. And, as Mike and I were talking the first half of the show, we're getting information from, through the media outlet or through social media. You guys are in it right now. You're painting the picture for us. And I know it has to be frustrating and scary. And I can tell just by talking to both of you what positive outlooks you have and how important that must be going through this, especially as you are hopefully feeling supported throughout the community.
Oh, my gosh. The support is incredible.
Good.
And I think in general, music therapists tend to be positive people.
Yes, very true. Absolutely. That is very true. We talked about it before, but just to get your perspective on it, what does it mean when we talk about suspending this program and thereby suspending the healthcare training program in a state with, like Miranda said, has a healthcare provider shortage? What is the impact of that?
The impact is going to be rather severe, and it's going to be a really negative impact. And not only will the impact be on the University of North Dakota, the Department of Music, but it's going to be on the people who receive healthcare services in the state of North Dakota, and it's going to be a really negative impact on our profession. 80% of the music therapists who work in North Dakota were trained at UND, and 7 of the 11 music therapists who were trained at UND, I helped train. So it's been within the last 5 years that we've really seen exponential growth in the number of music therapists who are choosing to come back to North Dakota, went to school at UND and are choosing to come back and to go to work and to help serve the people of the state of North Dakota. We have a severe shortage of healthcare providers, and especially we have a significant shortage in the number of people who are qualified to work in behavioral health. We do not have enough mental health care providers in the state. In the entire state of North Dakota, there are only 6 counties that are adequately staffed with medical personnel, and that includes allied health care providers like music therapists. So by cutting a program, suspending is a legal term, and I want to make that really clear, that suspending is a term that is used. A university can suspend a program within the North Dakota system for 3 years before they have to make an official decision about whether they're going to reinstate the program or they're going to officially cut it. And that's what our university has chosen to do, is to suspend the program. But even with suspension, I mean, you're talking about a whole generation now of therapists who aren't going to be in North Dakota. And one of the things that we've learned, I'm on the Board of Integrative Healthcare in North Dakota, and one of the things that my board has learned and that physicians have learned is that it's really, really hard to recruit healthcare providers to come to North Dakota if they aren't already here. And actually the turnover rate for healthcare providers is it's twice as high for people who are not trained in-state as it is for people who are trained in-state. So we have a much more sorry, I'm trying really hard not to get upset about this.
You're doing a good
job. We have a
job.
much better chance of retaining healthcare providers if they are trained in the state.
Yeah. I just briefly, I mean, I know our time is limited and there's so much value to what you need to say. The music therapy program, it meets the priorities of the university, right? Just like Miranda said, it's not like people are unhappy or there was an issue here. This is meeting the standards.
And it's not just the priorities of the university, it's the priorities of the university system, because UND is part of a larger state system of colleges and universities. And one of those priorities is that we offer degree programs where people want them and when they want them. And we offer the degrees that people want. People want to be trained as music therapists. And UND is the only program between Minneapolis and Seattle, right? The next closest programs are 8 hours away to the east and 15 hours away to the west.
Wow.
So there is no other place for these students to go. There's no other place for people to go if they're from this part of the country and they want to be trained as music therapists. So we provide a training program that people want, and we provide it where they want it. And we collaborate. We collaborate across the campus. We work with the School of Medicine. We work with psychology, nursing, OT, PT, speech-language pathology. You name it, we work with them. And we provide services with community partners all across the state, and especially in rural areas that really don't have access to a lot of health care. We go to them to provide services. So, we meet the priorities of the university system. And like Miranda said, we have a 100% overall pass rate on the board certification exam. That, to me, is the definition of providing students with opportunities for excellence.
Absolutely. We have 1 minute left. In our last minute, how can we be most helpful to you?
One of the things that you can do, the plans are going to move from the president's office to the chancellor. His name is Mark Hagerott. And then eventually those plans will move to the State Board of Higher Education. And if you go to the university system website, which is ndus.edu, you can see the listing of the people who are on the State Board of Higher Education. People can contact the State Board of Higher Education because we simply cannot afford to lose a healthcare training program in this state.
Absolutely not. And I'm so sorry to cut you off. We have to wrap up. Thank you so much for being on. Please follow us on Twitter. We're going to post all this information so you can follow up. If you're listening tonight, we'll hope you help this program. Thanks to all my guests tonight. I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you for listening to Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. We hope you enjoyed today's program and discovered new ways to bring music, art, and dance into your home or workplace. Please find a copy of today's show at pbmti.com. If you have any questions for our guest or myself, please email me at Bree, that's B-R-E-E, at pbmti.com, or call the Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute at 561-747-9944. Tune back in next week for an all-new live show. See you then.